We're now going to be looking today at the Death card in the Major Arcana. So, after a period of suspension and enlightenment from the energy of the previous card, the Hanged Man, we're now transitioning to the Death card, where we face the inevitability of transformation. When we reach the Death card, we are faced with significant endings which always promise new beginnings. The Death card very much talks about or shows us how life goes through stages, through cycles, and that nothing ever stays the same forever, that there's always that transition. The main themes of the Death card are endings and beginnings, release and renewal, transformation, and the ability really to be able to embrace change. So we're now going to look at the symbolism of the Death card. So getting into the symbolism on the card. So if we start with the person or the skeleton that is riding the horse here. The skeleton represents the inevitability of death and the physical aspects to change. It signifies that all things, including life, must come to an end. The armour is there to symbolise invincibility and that death comes for all, regardless of status or power. The white horse represents purity and is often associated with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, specifically the pale horse that signifies death. It symbolises the pure transformative power of death, which clears the way for new beginnings. So if we look here, we can see a flag with the white rose. So it's a black flag and a white rose. The black flag represents the unknown and the mystery, what comes after death. It can symbolise mourning and the darkness that often accompanies endings. The white rose is a symbol of purity, immortality and spiritual transformation. It signifies that death is not the end, but a step forward towards a new state of being. So if we look at the other figures in the imagery on here, lay fallen is the king. So the fallen king lies beneath the horse, symbolising that death comes for everyone, regardless of power and status. It represents the end of an era or a significant change in leadership or authority. So the child and the maiden, these figures often shown facing death without fear, symbolise innocence, acceptance and the continuity of life. The child's curiosity and the maiden's calm acceptance highlight the idea that death is a natural part of life and not to be feared. So the bishop or the priest that you see here, obviously this is a religious figure. It represents the spiritual aspect of death and the hope of eternal life or spiritual transformation. It can signify faith and the belief in a higher power or the afterlife. So if you see here, we have the sun on the horizon. So the rising sun here in the background symbolises rebirth, renewal and the promise of a new beginning after the darkness of death, suggesting that every ending is followed by a new dawn and that transformation leads to new opportunities. It's not that easy to see, but we have a river here in the background with some boats. So this represents the flow of life and the passage of time. It can also be seen as the river Styx, which in Greek mythology is crossed to reach the afterlife. The boats on the river symbolise the journey of the soul and the transition from one state of being to another. So overall, the imagery on the death card emphasises that death isn't the end, but a transformation leading to new beginnings. It's signifying that letting go of the old allows for the birth of something new. The symbols collectively highlight that the transformative nature of death, that change can be physical, but it can also be emotional, spiritual, or situational. The different reactions to the different figures within the card represent different attitudes towards death and change, emphasising that acceptance and understanding of this process are essential for growth. And then there's a lot of spiritual symbolism and purity. The white elements, as in the horse and the rose, suggesting that purity and spirituality are part of the process of transformation, indicating a move towards a higher state of being with death. So that is it for the symbolism of the death card, and later today I will post a video talking about the meanings and the interpretations of this card.